folks, David F&B Railroad here, and I'm here to bring you expansion layout update number 1. In this layout, I'm going to show you how I build my open grid system and attach it to the layout. So if you would feel like it and would like to see how I do it, please follow along. Thank you. Okay guys, I'm here in my basement with a load of lumber. We got 2x3s, we got 1x4s, and we got 1x2s, and I'm going to cut this up to make my bench work for my benches. Okay guys and gals, here we are at the chop saw, and I'm cutting up braces for my legs. They're 30 inches long, and I'm going to need 9 of these. And I won't bore you with the rest, so we'll be back when those are done and I'm cutting something else. And now I'm cutting up some 2x3s for my legs. And as I said before, I won't bore you and have you watch me cut up all these legs. So I'll be back with the next thing. Guys, gals, this is what we have here. I sat down and made a list of what I needed to cut. You can see the top is some 1x4s, and underneath that is some 1x3s, and this will make my first bench. So let me set up the camera and I'll show you that I can cut some wood, and then I'll turn it off so I don't bore you cutting up all the pieces. Okay guys, these are my 2 long runs, and I build an open grid system. So I got my 2 outside boards, and then I have my inside boards that run across, and I put them in at every 12 inches, plus 1 on each end. So what I'm doing now is laying out for my cross members, as I would call them. And they're at every 12 inches. So after laying out my boards to where I want to have my cross members placed, I went around and I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it's a little too bright. There we go. When I cut, it chips out a little bit. So I take a piece of sandpaper. Give all the edges a quick sand. One, it stops me from getting splinters, and two, it makes it easier to put everything together. So that's what I did to all these boards. And now what I got to do is go through and drill holes so I don't crack my wood. So you can see I've got my layouts, which side of the layout the boards or cross members go. So now I need to drill my holes. And I'll go through and do that on all of them. And then we'll start gluing and screwing this together. Okay, I'm ready to glue and screw this together. So we'll start down here at this end. That's one end. Okay, so this end of the bench work is going to be on a 45-degree angle, and I got my 22.5-degree angles cut on the two boards that are attached to the bench work and the one board that is floating free. Next, I got to glue and screw that together. But first, I got to drill some holes in the board so we don't split it. Now, before I can go and drill holes to mount my legs, I got to space my legs out because I put a brace from the leg up into the inside of this. So I cut myself a small piece, and in this situation, it's going to get glued in right here for where that one leg is going to go. So let me do that and I'll be back. So this is what I got going on now. I got my three legs, 1, 2, and the other one is holding up the other end right now. It'll actually be where this block is. And I've gotten my square out, and I've squared my one leg. And now I'm going to drill a hole here and put a carriage bolt through to bolt it on. And then when I'm done with that, I have this brace, sorry about the shaky cam, which goes to the leg there on the outside, and then to the inside on the bench work to hold my legs straight where I want them. So give me a minute or 2 or 3, and I will drill that hole and brace this one leg. So after getting my legs all braced up, I cut a piece of 1x4 to brace these two legs together. I've glued them and clamped them in place. Pre-drilled my holes. shaky cam time. So there it is. I have my 3 legs on. They're braced. And that's my first piece of bench work for the addition to the layout. Now I do have a leg clamped in that corner because that side will get bolted to the layout. So, yep, that's my open grid bench work. So I'll get this up into the train room and get it attached. And then the next thing, after I build the other 3 pieces of bench work, will be to start making the layout roadbed and attach it to the open grid bench work. Okay, something else I have to do before I can anchor this bench work to the existing layout is I have to make my fascia board. I put fascia board all the way around my tables, and I have tables that bolt together. So what I did is I made a cardboard template of the profile of the existing layout, which stops right around in here. So all that is extra. And then I taped it to my hardboard and traced it with white chalk. And now I'll cut it out. And I think I'll leave it loose until I get everything upstairs into the train room and see where everybody's going to fit. So here we are in the train room. And before I attach new extension of the layout, I screwed on these 2 little tabs so that the new piece can lay on that, seeing that there's only 3 legs on the layout, or the layout extension. So that's what I did beforehand. I'll give you a look at it once I get it attached. So there it is, the extension to the layout. First part, I got 3 more benches to go. But yeah, there's the layout. Here's the extension. Comes across, got the cutout for the river. Up, and then I left it high because I'm not sure what I'll do. And then it's going to cut across the window there. And then follow this wall down, and then across the end, and there's the doorway into the train room. So that's where this addition is going. All right, this is the end of the video. Obviously, you're seeing me again. Come on, it's got to be the end of the video, or at least we hope it's the end of the video. But anyways, you saw how I cut and screwed and glued my bench work together, and then how I attached it to the layout. And I got another 3 more of these to build to expand the layout to the size I want. But I thank you for watching, and keep on modeling.